Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to probably one of the most anticipated and biggest series I will ever do on my channel. That's right, you didn't read the title wrong. We are going to do a block for block tutorial for the prison. We're going to do all the rooms, all of the redstone, all of the terraforming in the beach and Tommy's lookout tower outside of it. All of it is included in this tutorial. There's a lot of disclaimers, so please make sure you watch all of this intro part. If you're wanting to build the prison, you're thinking about building the prison in any world, please listen to all the disclaimers. First off, this is a very advanced tutorial. Like, if you're expecting to go into this with no knowledge of redstone or anything, and you just want to like follow this tutorial and try and build it, you're gonna have a very, very difficult time. This is not gonna be an easy one-off build that you could do in a day with your friends. This is a very complicated and long build. I don't know how much I can stress that. This is a advanced tutorial, to say the least. Point number 2. This will not work on Bedrock Edition. Let me say it again. This will not work on Bedrock Edition. Let me say it again. This will not work on Bedrock Edition. And one final thing. This will not work on Bedrock. I received so many comments from all the other videos where I do redstone saying, "Oh, it didn't work," and I'm on Bedrock. It will not work on Bedrock. The redstone specifically is Java only. If you're on Bedrock and you still want to like build the prison, build all the rooms just for the aesthetic, go for it. You know, there's nothing stopping you. But if you're wanting all of the technical redstone, keycard systems, vault doors, that will not work on Bedrock for what I'm showing you. Next point, and I hate to say this, this build is most likely physically impossible in survival. There is almost no chance that this could be built in vanilla survival. The people on the Dream server, they did build this in creative. There's like no way that you could build this in survival. It would take so many hours of just grinding. There's over 1,000,000 blocks of obsidian in this build. That is ridiculous to do in survival. So for this sake, I would highly, highly recommend that you get World Edit before following this tutorial. I cannot stress this enough. World Edit will be your best friend. We are going to do some huge terraforming in this video. We're going to paste all of these walls on the prison. There's just so much that World Edit will be very, very useful for. And if honestly, if you're not using World Edit, this is going to take you an absurd amount of time. Next point, I want to explain why this is called part 0, because technically we aren't going to be building the actual prison in this video. We're not going to get started. This video is strictly for the people that are wanting to build this whole thing in the actual Dream SMP seed. If you've been following along with all the other tutorials and you want to build it in the actual seed, then this is what part 0 is for. It's to build the beach, get all the terraforming over here, sort of like set the stage, you know, build a bunch of flat areas so that we can actually build the prison. If you're just wanting to build the prison on any random world, then this video is actually not for you, and you're going to want to click the card up in the description for part 1, which will start the tutorial right on that section over there when I've uploaded it. But for this is part 0, and this is mostly for the people that are on the actual seed. Now, if you're wanting to build on this seed and you don't have the seed, I have this video linked up in the card, which shows you how to get the seed, and it explains everything. So click on that video if you want to get the seed to build the prison on the seed. All right, that is pretty much everything I had to say in all the disclaimers. Rewatch that if you're not sure if you can build the prison. You know, just key points. This will not work in Bedrock Edition. You need to have some sort of knowledge about redstone before hopping into this tutorial. This will be very advanced. I'm going to go very fast. You're going to want World Edit. We're going to have to cut some corners to make this a lot faster. I'm not going to be able to go block for block on absolutely everything. I wish you the best of luck. If you do have some major issues and you really want it to work and you're getting frustrated, join the Discord server. I'm literally so active on that Discord server. I talk every day. I talk to people all the time in there. If you want a good community with a lot of friends, join the Discord server. It is in the description. It's one of the top links. All my social links are right there if you want to check any of that out. This series probably will be the death of me, so if you could just consider liking all of the prison tutorials as you follow them, you know, just a quick scroll down, you click the button, make it blue or whatever color it turns, who knows. I guess with all that being said, let's hop into the prison tutorial. Alright, so if you are wanting to follow the prison on the actual seed and you're following sort of the whole tutorial series that I'm doing, you will have Skeppy's Mansion, which is in the last video. That is linked currently in the card right now. So go ahead and follow that tutorial if you haven't already. But if you're not wanting to follow that tutorial, you just want the prison on the actual seed, then this top corner block right here of the mansion, which is very vital for everything else we're about to do, is on this coordinate. 247, and I'm on 72 Y level, and negative 855. That is the corner of this wall, and the wall, I'm pretty sure, is exactly 47 blocks long, and you'll see it connects right here to this corner of the sand, and on the other side it should end on this corner of the sand, which is pretty much the perfect length it needs to be, because this is the corner of the beach, and over here is the grass that connects you to the prison. So if you have Skippy's Mansion, make sure these points line up pretty well. If they don't, you can always just adjust it. All right, here we go. Time to actually start the prison tutorial. This is insane. Why am I doing this? I don't know. So we're gonna start in this bottom corner right here by Skippy's Mansion on the left side, and right down here you're gonna see this block and this block right here. We're gonna make this a grass block and make this a grass block right here, and then we're gonna place 2 grass blocks here, and then 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. After this, we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 1 diagonally, and then this line right here is going to be a line of 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, just like this. And then we're going to go back 2, 2, 1, and 1, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab out some obsidian just to leave a little marker line right here. This is the edge of that front building right there, so that is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in these little spots right here, and then anything besides outside of these 14, we're gonna go ahead and dig away this land right here. Alright, just to mark out the prison, we're gonna do a little bit of the outline over here, but we'll also go over this in the second part for the people that didn't follow this part if they're just building the prison. So starting right here, we have that we're gonna count this as 1, so ignore these 2, but this, let's just get rid of all this. So we have these 2 diagonals, and we're going to place this one right here. This is 1, and we're going to go a total of 12 to this direction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is the back corner of the prison right here, and then it'll start heading off and going this direction. And that's literally all we're going to do for the prison today. Let's place like these 2 blocks in this one because it goes a little over there. So that's all we're going to place for the actual prison today. So next step, we are going to get rid of this diagonal island. We're just going to, I'm going to get world edit. I'm going to take this corner, fly all the way over here, get to this corner, and I'm just going to chop away this whole thing. Goodbye. And hopefully the water should fill itself in all the way. Yeah, it looks like it is. Alright, that is perfect. So let's go ahead and do the terrain over here now. Alright, this is where things are going to get a little bit tricky. I'm going to throw up a picture on screen of what this place should look like when we are all done, but there's a lot of terraforming we need to do over here. So we're going to carve out some big shapes really fast. So what I'm going to do, we're going to come up to this corner right here by Skippy's Mansion, which is, this is why it's very vital that we had this mansion here in the first place. And I'm going to go like all the way down to here about, yeah, position 2. I'm going to cut all of this ground away, and we're going to just flatten everything out onto this layer, including all of this land out to here. Don't worry if you get rid of too much. I will show what it looks like, the area should look like when we're done if you need to fix anything. But really, we don't have to worry about getting rid of too much. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take this wall, and we're going to extend this all the way until we hit ground over here. And also, I just realized I broke away part of the mansion over here. I'll fix that later. And we're going to bring this down again, a second block. And all the way onto this side, I'm going to go ahead and just carve out this layer and the layer under it. So we're going to have 4 blocks. You'll have 4 blocks on this side of the stone brick wall exposed. So I'm just going to, like, draw a line out here so I can cut away all of this ground. Actually, I mean, I guess we can just do it over here. But I don't want to get rid of Skippy's Mansion. So I guess we'll just come about over to here. Let's just cut out all of this ground. We need to dig out a lot of big shapes over here. And then we're going to cut rid of all of the layers over here. Position 2. Cut. Flatten out all of this ground over here. Then we're going to extend our wall all the way down to this side. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're actually going to dig out more than we need to. And then we're actually going to like just build the ground back because I think that'll be way easier. So we're just going to go like around here. Not getting too precise. And like literally just bring it all the way back to about here for now. And actually, let's do like here, and let's just cut all of this ground away. Goodbye. And now we can go ahead and start our terraforming now that we have a lot of room to build. So we had this 1 block right here, and we're going to go diagonal again, and then place 2, then turn 2 more, so this is a total of 3 right here. 1 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 1 diagonal, 1 back, then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 1 diagonal. This will be 1 diagonal right here, and then we're going to turn, so it makes sort of like an L shape like this, and then we need 1 more diagonal, just like that. And that is where we're going to stop this bit of terrain right here. So from this point on, I'm going to go ahead and carve out this shape right here. Let's cut this out. We're basically just doing like big like block terraforming right now. And then all of the extra stuff that we got rid of, let's go ahead and actually fill the rest of this in with grass just like this, and replace all of the floor within our area. Replace this all with grass, and I'll see when I have that done. Alright, so hopefully you can see what I've done here. I've just made all of this ground grass, and I went ahead and filled in the shape that we made right here. Let's go ahead and do the second layer right here. So we're going to make this one a piece of grass right here, and then we're going to place a piece of grass next to it, and we're going to go diagonal 1, 2, and 3, and then this is going to be a line of 14, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This third diagonal right here is going to be a total of 10s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to go one diagonal, then 1, 2, 3, 4. One diagonal, then 2 over, and then these 2 over, then in 1, then 1, 2, 3, which you can see part of this land is already like done for us. So that's how you know you're sort of in the right spot as well. And then one diagonal right here. And now we're going to go ahead and carve out even more of this ground, because there's sort of like a weird hotel Tommy started building into the side of the ground, which I guess we can do part of, might as well. And let's see, we have this one, and then we're going to carve out these 2 right here, and then these 2 right about there. And that is the edge. And actually, if we grab out an oak log, if you want to mark this, where are oak logs? I don't know. The inventory. We're gonna go ahead and grab an oak log, and we can stack up 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and that is the edge of that little hotel. All right, next row, onto the third row, you could say. So that's 1, 2. This is the third one. We're gonna place 2 grass blocks right here, which should be flush next to the obsidian wall, and then we're gonna go diagonal 1, and this is gonna be a total of 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we're going to go diagonal 1, diagonal 2, diagonal 1, 2, 3, so actually carve out that, and then it's going to go over 1, 2, 3, and then go back 2, and make this 1, 2, 3, 4, so carve out some extra, then go back, knock out like a 2 by 3 right here to make this 3, and that is pretty much good. And if you want, there's a grass block right there next to this piece of tall grass, which is still here. And let's go ahead and break out this one, fill in this shape right here, and let's go ahead and do the top row. So we have this one right here, then we're going to go back a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another back diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then in 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So let's go ahead and like carve out this front shape so it's not confusing. So we have these 7, right? Yeah, 7, and then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then diagonal 1, and it perfectly hits into that grass right there. Get rid of this tall grass, dig out everything inside of this shape like this, and then what we're going to do, we're going to replace all of the rest of the stone that's sitting out here, replace all that with tall regular grass, and replace all this with grass, and fill in this. And super detail, if you really want, there's actually this little shape dug out into the grass. These things kind of like just come and go, like things will just get broken and people will fill it in. And then if, again, there's like a block there, there's a block up here. Alright, I showed this little hotel part in the actual tutorial, but it just takes up a lot of time, and I think this is pretty easy. Like, you could just look at this and figure it out. So you should, we ended off somewhere around here, and I'm just gonna like look around, and hopefully you can just copy this to the best of your ability. But we had these 4 oak logs already, so this is a 3x4 wall right here, and it goes back, and you have this shape, and it digs into the hill a little bit. There's a little bit of terrain here if you want it. Then we're gonna fly around over here. This back wall is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. We have another cobblestone wall that is a 3x5. 3x3 behind that. We have another log up here. And this wall, the floor is white wool. Stops right here by the front, and it goes up a layer right here. If this helps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 right there. And let's see, just so you don't get confused, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be 6 across like that. So there you go. Here's some terrain up here if you want it. This is dug out. There's a little wall back here I was meaning to show. There you go. You can see that. And then it gets dug up. If you have the actual seed, there's this floating oak tree that is still up here from the original seed. Again, you don't really have to do this. We're mostly looking at the prison, but, you know, here it is nonetheless. And let's continue the tutorial starting right here. We're going to place a crafting table right there, sort of a marker. Now we want 2 grass blocks behind this crafting table like this, and then we're going to go diagonal 1, 2, 3, and then 2 forward like this. And this thing is sort of all over the place, so we're going to knock out these 3 right here, knock out this one, add a piece of grass here. We're going to place 2 right here and 2 right there, add an extra 3, and then add an extra row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like this. I just realized this is like my first time doing terrain, I guess. Alright, so we're standing on this flat layer right here, right? And anything over here we can keep, but everything on this layer above, we are going to completely flatten out. We don't want any trees, we don't want any grass that is taller than this raised section right here. So I'm going to flatten everything on this layer, and I'll be back when I have that done. Alright, so beyond this point, we have these 3. I'm doing the 3rd layer up just for a second. So we have, if you look back, we have this one poking out, then this one, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then this one right here is going to stick out a total of 3. Then we're going to fill in all of this, and now and then we're going to carve a straight line across here, and now we can flatten everything else on this layer. Alright, perfect. Looking back, we had these 3. We're going to place a 2x4 in front of this, like that, and then 1 extra sticking out right here, 1 extra right there, and then we're going to draw a straight line across here, then carve out anything past this straight line, and you already know what's coming. We're going to flatten everything else on this layer, including all of that over there, and we can honestly just, anything on this side of the river, literally just get rid of every single tree over here. Get rid of all of these trees and flatten out the rest of this whole layer. Alright, so for this next section, I went ahead and actually did all of this terrain off camera, and I'm going to just like fly back over it, and you can follow along as I show you the terrain. I just think it's way easier than trying to like go over it block for block. So we had this 1, 3, and 3. You should already have this, and now from here we have 1 diagonal back, and when I say back, I mean like going this direction. When I say over, I mean like towards the water where the prison will be. So we have 1 diagonal, then 2 back, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 3 over, 1 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 2 back, 1, 2, 3 diagonal, 2 over, 1, 2, 3 diagonal, 2 back, 1, 2, 3 diagonal, 2 back, 2 back, 2 back, 1 diagonal, 1, 2, 3 over, 1, 2 over, 1, 2, 3 over, 1, 2, 3 back, diagonal, and then bring 1 forward, then 1 back, and then 3 over, and then this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over. And if you just leave it like that, the rest of the terrain should just like fit in naturally, and none of that was touched. Again, I have the Discord server, so if you really are struggling on parts of this and you want to join the Discord, that's always an option, and I can try and help you out there personally. But, you know, just got to be a little patient with me. And also, I just filled in those little shapes right here. So, next big step, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this with grass. Fill in that right there with grass, and then we can fix some of the terrain over there. Alright, you can see I went ahead and did a little bit of work here. So, I filled in all of this with regular grass. All the shapes up here are regular grass. Filled in some of the holes that are over here. And over here by the prison, I went ahead and actually just filled in all of this with grass, like kind of filling in that little backwards L shape we made it with obsidian. Over here, flattened this to only 1 layer tall behind the little entrance room, and I left that little gravel patch over there. And that's pretty much it. Here's an overview of the terrain we did over here. In case you need to know, that's 10, that's 14, right there, that's 7, and hopefully you should be able to copy it in case you couldn't. I'll leave timestamps for all the different parts, you know, in case you're just skipping around trying to find stuff. And let's go ahead and do the terrain over here, I guess. So we had this one poking out over here. And what we're going to do after that, we're actually going to, after this one poking out right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then add 1, 2, 3 right here. And this should be 1, 2, 3. Add 1 on top of that, 1, 2, and carve out these 2, just like that. Knock out these 2 right here, these 3, this 1 right here, and then behind this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving 1 poking out here. And fill in grass right there, and this is just a hollow space. Boom, and that's pretty much what that terrain looks like. That's pretty much it. If you want, you can go ahead and put some torches over here. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to have to make some pretty dramatic changes over here. So we have this big spruce, like, peninsula sticking out over here. So we're going to fly to the very back of it over here. So hopefully you can see where I am. I'm pretty far away. And somewhere around here, I think we're going to stop, like, right in line with this right here. Hopefully you can see where I'm looking at over here. Around 210, -8, negative 983. And I'm going to just carve all the way across this thing, like this. And I'm going to place some grass right here, right? And everything beyond this point, we're just going to get rid of. Get rid of this whole peninsula over here. Everything's got to go. So I'll see you once you have all of this gone. Alright, there we go. We got rid of all of that grass. And I just sort of like left it off like that. And that's pretty much just where we're going to leave that little area. Next big terraforming task. We got to deal with this area. The prison does in fact get in the way of a lot of this land, which is sort of the whole reason we're making this video. So this whole island, this entire island has got to go. So we just need to get rid of this entire island, basically. So I'll see you when I have that done, including these little, like, 3 floating blocks. This whole island we got to get rid of. Alright, there we go. We have gotten rid of this entire island over here. And also, if you are curious, all these little spots where there were, like, caves, it all got filled in with dirt. So just a tiny little detail if you want that. Next, we need to go all the way back here to this far mountain range where the edge of the prison is. And this island right here next to the mountains. Yep, we got to get rid of this entire thing as well. So I will see you when I have this gone. Alright, there we go. That island is gone. And luckily, we don't have to touch any of that. But the corner of the prison does interfere with some of that. So that should tell you how big this thing actually is. It is huge. So what we need to do now is start terraforming this giant diagonal beach, which is over here. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. But you guys wanted the prison, so yeah, we're doing it. Alright, I went ahead and finished the entire beach line, so we're going to go over this fairly quickly. So, you have this, we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 over, 7 across here, and this is where it begins. So, we have, so I'm going to say over, and over means to the right, and back means, like, sort of towards the beginning hotel, if that makes sense, just like over there. So, we have 2 over, 3 over, 3 over, 2 over, 2 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 2 over, 2 over, 2 over, 2 over, so that's a total of 4 times, 2 diagonal, 2 back, 2 over, this will be a total of 3 over, so you sort of have like a backwards L shape, then backwards L shape again, diagonal to that, then 1 back diagonal, then a small L, diagonal to that, another small L, then 1 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 2 back, 1 diagonal, 2 back, 1 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 3 over, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 1 diagonal, 2 back, 1 diagonal, 1 diagonal, 1 diagonal, 2 back, 2 diagonal, 3 over, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 2 over, 2 diagonal, 2 over, 2 diagonal, 2 over, 1 diagonal, 3 over, and then 14 over, then 3 over, but facing towards the ocean, we're coming back. Actually, I should say 3 diagonal forward, I guess. And then again diagonal forward for a total of 4, and then back diagonal for 5, well, 5 over, and then these 2 are like 2 grass behind that, 2 grass right here, and then it should straighten out into the rest of the regular terrain. I know that was a lot. You're gonna need to rewatch that. You're gonna need to dig into the ground like I just did, removed a lot of the trees, and what we're gonna do, this is a pretty tedious process, but everything beyond that point out into the water, we're just going to get rid of. So just literally destroy all of the ground, as you see me doing right now. Anything beyond the terrain that we just looked at, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. And we kind of just need to do this, simply because it gets in the way of the actual prison, because the prison is huge, and it needs a lot of room. So go ahead and destroy all of this ground, and any holes that you see, just go ahead and fill them in with grass so that the water can flow and it's one smooth area. So I will see you when you have all of that done. Alright, there we go. Ooh, that takes a little bit of time. If you're smart with it though, you can world edit a lot of it away, and it shouldn't be that bad, especially if you're in creative and world edit. Alright, so from this point, I am not going to give exact directions on what to do with the entire beach. I'm not going to terraform the whole thing. That would be ridiculous. It would take a super long time. So I think I'm gonna give you you have the bottom layer, and I think I'm gonna give you the top layer, and then everything in the middle, all the different in between layers. I'm just gonna let you sort of just make a natural looking beach. I'll flip over to my recreation at the end, and I'll let you see what that should look like. All right, so I went ahead and did the entire top layer. So we're gonna go over this really quick. So we have these two, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then this grass block right here. Don't make sure you have that correct first before you do this entire line. Don't want that to all be wrong. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I said 3, but it actually should be 4, and then 2. And so let's go over this. So we have 3 back diagonal, 2 over, and then 1 back, sort of like a backwards L. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back diagonal, and then 2 over, or 2 back, sorry. 1 diagonal, 2 over, 1 back diagonal, 2 back, 1 diagonal, 3 over, 2 over, 1 diagonal, small backwards L, 2 over, 2 over, small backwards L, 1 diagonal, 2 back, 2 over, 1 diagonal, small L, 2 back, 2 over, 1 diagonal, another diagonal, 2 over, 3 over, 3 over, 4 over, and then it switches from sand into grass, so we're going to have 2 grass, then 2 over, 1 diagonal, a second diagonal, then 3 back, and then connect 2 over, and so it makes this shape right here, and then 2 back, 2 over, or small backwards L, and then 2 back like this. And you can see I have placed some spruce and some stone bricks because this perfectly links up with the watchtower that Tommy built. And this spruce log right here for the watchtower should be at 149, negative 790. So you want to make sure that this is correct. If it's not correct, it's off by a block or so. It's not that big of a deal. But there you go. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and dig out all of the ground at this layer past all of this. Just, just to help carve out the shape of the beach for us. And then I'm going to flip over to my recreation, and I'm going to show you what my whole beach looks like in this area. So let's go ahead and carve out all of this, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and carved out all of the ground in between these 2 layers. So hopefully this gets you off on the right foot to help make your own beach and all that. We're going to do a few more little details over on this side before I switch over. Let's go ahead and dig out these 2 right here, and then we're going to bring this log down, an extra one right here. And let's dig out some more right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 stone bricks, and then 1 more right here. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 grass next to it. Then after that, we're going to go 3 behind it, and then 1, 2 diagonals behind it. And we have to actually build up some grass here. And then behind that, we have 1, 2, just like that. And then 1, 2, 3. Then 1 diagonal back right here. And like that. And then this flattens off for a good amount of time. Yeah, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can flatten this one out. And this should be like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just like that. And let's go ahead and just get rid of some of this top layer right here. And besides these ones, we can flatten out everything in front of this. Just like that. And then sort of where this shape is, we'll go like diagonal 1, diagonal 1. And that's where I'm going to stop that. So you can go ahead and carve out all of this. So that is where I'm going to leave it off for the block tutorial on the beach. But from here, we're going to flip over to my recreation, and I can let you see sort of what I've done along this area. A lot of my terrain is pretty spot on. So you can try and copy it the best of your ability. But of course, you don't have to. If you just want to, like, just customize it, make it your own, that kind of thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's not that important, Alright, and welcome to my recreation of the Dream SMP. So here's what the beach looks like. I should first of all mention that it is a huge mess. There's some palm trees. Here's that crafting table we placed. It's kind of just a big mess over here. So I'm just gonna like go like this and pan around it slowly. If you want to copy it block for block, you can go for it. If you don't want to copy block for block, I don't blame you. This would be a nightmare. So I'll leave it up to you, but honestly, just go for an effect similar to this. Just like kind of smooth it out between all the different layers. And then if you want, you can just break away areas at random, add grass blocks, add a lantern or a chest randomly, break away some few blocks, have some exposed stone, some misplaced blocks on purpose. I wanted to get really mostly like around the tower base so you knew what that looked like. And this is sort of where it looks like back over here, and then flattened off over here. And that's pretty much it. Let's see. We have some palm trees, so you can see you should have these shapes because we did the bottom row over here, so you can see there's like an area dug out, and here's what this palm tree sort of looks like. So sorry if you were, expecting me to go over this block for block, but I just, we can't do absolutely everything. This is a huge build, so had to make a few cuts and sacrifices. There's this, I don't know, this umbrella down here, and there's another tree over here somewhere. I mean, I guess I can look over it a little bit more. So you can find somewhere in the shape where we have this, like, those two L's that we had. So if you go to the second one, and then 4 blocks in, we have, like, some grass here, some jungle logs to make a tree, and you pretty much just place leaves around it like this randomly, and then there's some sand built up right here, and then there's another palm tree, if you can look in line with this, and this is what this one looks like. And along the top, we did this top layer right here, but there's sort of like a back layer behind it, so you can kind of like look over this really fast, try and replicate that yourself. And of course, again, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. And then from there, you can just flatten off all the ground to Skeppy's house. And don't worry, like this path back here and the tower and all of that, we are going to do that in a separate video. It's just like this video is probably going to be already more than an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. I'm predicting, who knows. Depends how fast I can edit and cut it down as much as possible. This is technically part 0. So in part 1, we're actually going to go over this building. We'll do like the stuff that we had behind this, whatever that is, and hopefully start the actual prison. I have no idea how much we'll get done. Good luck on your journey. Also, let me know if you want me to like include music or not include music in the background lightly. Like if it just gets in the way or you like having the music there, please let me know in the comments. I'm open to feedback. I'll be reading comments. I always read comments. Oh, I wanted to show this. That's right. I almost ended the video. So I wanted to show off sort of what's over here. There's like some random water puddles or some torches. There's a little bit of ground built up over here, and I mean that's pretty much it. There's not a lot over here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. If you're building this with me, please post it on Twitter. I'll probably retweet some of the people that have actually finished this whole prison when it's done. I'm done rambling. Bye bye.